Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy D with Torch TV, and I'd just like to welcome you all to the first video on this channel. Today, we're going to be talking about what the Texans should do with their first round pick. Now, they're going to have three options, in my opinion. For those of you that think that the Texans should trade down, maybe move into the top 15, I think that's a terrible idea. You need an influx of talent, especially on the offensive line and the defensive backfield. I don't think that they should ignore the needs that they have for their team. So without further ado, let's get right into it because I know you clicked on the video because you want to hear, what you feel the Texans should do and if that lines up with what you think. So while I'm going through this, don't hesitate to go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and leave a comment. If you have any comments, if you think there's somebody I'm missing, you know, don't hesitate to let me know. So first of all, I'd just like to discuss, our GM Brian Gaines. Now, Brian came over from the Dolphins after spending time with the Texans for a few years. And while he was there, he had a hand in finding guys like Deion Dawkins, who actually posted a better PFF grade than Julian Davenport and Kendall Lamb. They also found a linebacker in the late rounds that was pretty decent named Milano. And they also found a receiver who turned out pretty good. He's probably going to be like a good Zay Jones. Probably going to be a good number two option for a couple of years. And, all Brian Gaines did was after that was follow up by drafting, Justin Reed in the third round last year, who posted a 77 PFF grade. Was definitely one of the top rookies in the league. And I think if it wasn't for Derwin James just having an all-world season, I think he would have gotten more attention. So without further ado, let's get into those options. Now, I think that there are three options that the Texans have. First and foremost, they can stay put and just pick up the best offensive lineman available. But I don't think that just means any old offensive lineman, any old guy that you just throw out there. In my opinion, there are two guys I feel that will be available. Jonah Williams is going to be long gone. So if anybody's like, oh, Jonah Williams, that's their trade up option. You don't need to get rid of the capital that you went through the trouble of trading Dwayne Brown for. Don't do it. Stay pat, stay put. This is what you got to do. Go and get Andre Dillard. Andre Dillard is going to be a wonderful tackle. He's going to be able to come in and start right now, and he's going to post better overall grades than the tackles you had last year. I know you have Henderson coming back, but you still don't know what you have in him. Matt Khalil, you don't know what you have in him, and Julian Davenport. I mean, guys, if he pushes his PFF and overall grade up 10, 15 points, he's still barely average. Let's just be honest here. So if you bring in Dillard, Dillard's going to come in and start at either tackle position for you right now. He does have lower body strength issues. I feel like he'll be put on his wallet a lot, which is why I'm a bit concerned with him. But hey, that's why he's going to be available in the later round. There's also Garrett Bradbury. Now, he's an interior lineman. So if you feel confident, if you're the GM of the Texans, which I think he might, if you feel confident that Davenport, Khalil, and Henderson, and maybe even a late round tackle can handle that tackle position, that's fine. Spend another year chipping those guys, you know, locking them up, and giving Deshaun just that much time to get the ball out. Because let's be honest, last year they spent a lot of time chipping those ends, and you did bring in a blocking tight end from the Browns. You chip those ends, coming in. You pick up a guy like Bradbury who's going to really just solidify that interior line. I feel like he could be a good center. You can move Nick over to his appropriate position to me, which would be left guard, in my opinion. And you basically seal up the interior line. Rankins is definitely going to take the other guard spot, and now you don't have to worry about interior pressure. You don't have to worry about that pocket collapsing. And in this situation, once those ends get chipped, you're giving a guy like Deshaun Watson 3, 4, 5 seconds to get the ball away. You give him that much time with guys like Will Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins on the outside, they are going to beat most teams. You're looking at a 10-11 win team easily if you pull it this way. Now, the second option, and I think this is like the sexy pick, you know, for most people, but I think when you end up with guys like Greedy Williams or Byron Murphy, they are legitimate number ones. They are going to be legitimate number ones. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't feel like the other corners are worth first round grades. These are the only two guys that I feel like, in my opinion, are worth first round grades. Byron Murphy, I feel, is an all around corner. I think he's going to be good in zone and man. I think you can move him to safety. I think you can move him all over the defensive backfield. I think he is being like woefully underrated. Like, I think that people are sleeping on this guy. He is going to be a top tier corner in this league for a long time, and I think he's going to have the longevity. Now, if you want the sexy pick, you're going with Greedy Williams. Look, Greedy Williams is a man-to-man lockdown guy. He has that mentality. Does he have the skill set? Yes. Uh, maybe not. But I think you get him in camp, you work him. He's going against guys like Hop, guys like Fuller, guys like QT. You'll have him ready for that first week of the season. You still got J. Joe, you still got Colvin. I think he's gonna push one of those two guys out of the cornerback rotation before the season is over. He's a high risk, high reward guy. Greedy Williams is going to be good for a while. The question is, how long can you give him, to really get it together, you know? Uh, but like I said, those are my two options as far as staying put. Now, this is where things get complicated. I personally feel that you can definitely make a move to trade back out of the first round. If you trade back out of the first round, you can easily pick up an extra second and an extra third for this year. I think you can get that, or possibly even a second for this year, a second for next year. It's a really, really good, smart move. It infuses talent, and like I said, I think Brian Gaine has shown that he can pull in talent in the mid round, something that we haven't had here with the Texans. Finding starter quality players in those mid rounds. Those guys take less from the cap. You have a lot of cap space. You go into the next 2 years, depending on what happens with Clowney, with the ability to maybe even pull in some more star free agents, or at least some mid-level talent. You have the money to pay those guys. Um, but without further ado, you just traded out of the first round. You're the Texans. I have a list of guys right here in front of me, and I'm going to read them off to you, and I'm going to give you reasons why any three out of the five guys I'm going to name is going to be incredible. Whether it's three of the linemen, or the receiver that I have on here, or two of the linemen in the corner, I'm telling you, this is going to be like, you're going to be like, this is the greatest draft the Texans have had since guys like Watt have come in, guys like Clowney have come in, guys like Hop, have come in. When you see multiple picks, just coming to fruition. And I think it's going to come around sooner rather than later. Now, my first guy I have up here is Dalton Risner. I think Dalton Risner, besides Jonah Hill, is probably the best tackle in the draft. And I'm saying that for knowing fully well that I brought up some guys earlier, and Andre Dillard. Andre Dillard is the most NFL ready, but Risner is going to be better than him. Period. He's gonna be better than him. There's really nothing you can do about it. But he's only got a second round grade, and I think that's right where he needs to go. I think it's better if he goes there. But if you can just move back and pick him up then when he's worth it, you just got yourself a steal. He's going to be an incredible guy. I think that he's a really good pass blocker. He's underrated pass blocker. I feel like they're really not giving him the credit he deserves. And then you have Caleb Greer. Now, Caleb, I feel like he needs a year to develop his pass blocking. He has terrible footwork at times. But when I tell you a run blocker extraordinaire, and remember what we talked about before, you can bring in some tackles, use your tight ends, your running backs to chip guys on those third downs, giving Hop and Fuller more time to get open. That little split second right there, I'm telling you right now, like, this is going to be a big deal. If you get this guy in the run blocking, you might not even need him to pass block on third down, because you're going to be able to go off tackle, something that you haven't been able to do. I feel like Hopkins, not Hopkins, excuse me, Fuller. I feel like Fuller will be able to get on those bubble screens, where you have a guy that'll that'll pull out, on those jet sweeps and everything. You have a guy that'll pull and have Fuller just come underneath him, and I just feel like this guy's going to clear the way. Also, you have a guy like Deontay Foreman that's coming along. You can get him up the middle, right off tackle, and really just pound the ball. Like, you could run behind this guy. He's going to be probably graded as one of the better run blockers in this draft when it's all said and done. Uh, Next, I have the little firecracker of Andy Isabella. Look, guys, this guy isn't just quick; he is fast. I think he's an outside receiver. I don't think that you should just pigeonhole him into the slot. I know that sounds crazy, but I just feel like he has the speed and the separation skills to play on the outside, especially in the offense that the Texans run. I feel like those back shoulder throws will be there for the simple fact that this guy's going to close that distance. He's going to eat up cushion. Like, he's gonna eat a cushion like a bad dog on your sofa. You understand me? Like, it's not even gonna be funny. He's gonna eat up cushion. Those back shoulders are gonna be open. He has the speed to get past people, and he definitely, if you send him in motion, is going to create space. And you pair him with a guy like Kiki QT, and you can bring Will Fuller in slowly. You might be able to get Fuller for a team-friendly price because Fuller's gonna know, hey man, look, if I want catches, I might have to play ball. You might be more comfortable letting that guy go. And I don't want to let Fuller go, but I mean, you bring in Andy Isabella in the second round, and I mean, it's a wrap. You got like the greatest show on turf type of talent, and that offense is going to go down as one of the best in history. If you bring this guy in, I'm telling you, they are sleeping on him. Now, next guy I have, that's going to be available in the second round is Connor McGovern. Now, he's from Penn State. I know, same school that O'Brien was from, but that's not why I'm picking him. I'm picking him because I turned on the tape. I turned on the tape, and this guy is just way too good. It's another one of those guys. You watch the tape, and you're like, how is he not a top 10, lineman? How is this guy not projected in the first round? I really don't understand it. I feel like he has great football IQ. And he just blocks his tail off. He finishes blocks, and another guy, like I said, you bring him in that tackle position. You have those tight ends and running backs chip, and I feel like once he gets his hands on you, you're not going anywhere. So just a little chip from Lamar Miller snatches him up, man. Deshaun's got all the time in the world. He's gonna get those hands inside that pad level, and whoever that is, I don't care if it's a speed rusher, power rusher, he's gonna hold him up. Guy's not going anywhere. Also, a really improved run blocker. I feel like over his time at Penn State, he's gonna be a good pro, a really good pro. Now, last but not least, I have my flyer. Now, I already told you I feel like Greedy and Byron Murphy are going to be number ones. But in my opinion, the best cornerback in this draft of the 2019 NFL draft is Jamal Dean from Auburn. This guy's gone through 2 or 3 knee surgeries, and that is the only, and I mean the only reason why he's not a top 5 pick. I'm talking about Jalen Ramsey level coverage skills. Like, this guy, like 6'1", over 200 pounds, posted a 4.340, and I mean, there's just really not enough tape on him because he keeps getting injured. But I mean, when you do look at him, like, if you just see this guy on the field, I got the picture up. Come on now. Like, does he not look like a linebacker out there? I mean, come on now. Like, look, they're sleeping on this guy. Like, there's not enough good things I can say about him with all that speed, long arms, great ball skills. I feel like this is the type of guy that can play the next 7 maybe to 9 years in your defensive backfield and then convert over to safety and put up another 5 years of elite all-pro talent. Like, that's the skill set I think this guy is. He is definitely by far the best corner in this draft. It's not even close to me. Like, it's stupid that people aren't even talking about him, and he's definitely going to be there. So think about having those extra picks in the second round. That last pick in the second round, that 56 pick, I believe it is, pick them up, man. Take a flyer on them, because those first two, selections in the second round, you're definitely going to address either 2 linemen, you know, or a lineman in a corner, or, like I said, you could say Caleb or even Connor. You grab Andy, then pick up Jamal. You're good to go. It's basically smooth sailing for the rest of the draft, building depth. because you just shored up your three biggest needs. You need a receiver, mainly because, guys keep getting hurt. You need at least one more lineman to come in there and compete to push the other guys. And you definitely need a cornerback. You just sold it up right there. And all three of these guys, to me personally, just have first round grades on them. Guys are just sleeping on them. But like I said, these are just my opinions.